The directive cue is where we leave the power with the child, but we take back the control because the behavior has now gone too far for too long with too much intensity. This is a child we are all going to be on the same page with. This is a child that has a script written that still allows the child to make a choice, giving them that opportunity, a very small window of opportunity, by the way, to take control. All right? But it does rely on a protocol of follow-through. So for example, here, if the behavior continues, it escalates, I can't teach, we may all have something that comes out of our mouth like that says, stop immediately. Now what Emma needs to know, that as soon as I say stop immediately, she needs to know hands down what's going to follow. If she recovers and she stops what she's doing, I don't say anything. No verbal interaction. No thanking her for making a good choice. Big mistake we make with really chippy kids sometimes. Emma's upset, I say, stop immediately. And Emma stops, and then we make that mistake of going, thank you for making a good choice, Emma. And what does that do to her? It's like kerosene on hot coals, because I just announced to the entire peer group that she complied to my request, which is the last thing she wants them to see. So I make sure I just say that. I don't say a thing. I keep on teaching. We're done. Follow through with the class. Now, let's say, just to follow along with this, let's say she continues it. She gets it up even more. At that point, we put the protocol in place. I don't talk anymore. If my job is to make the phone call, to refer her just to wherever we have in our building that handles some of our children when they reach this capacity. Maybe it's the counselor who's put something into place for us. Whatever it is, have it in place. We follow through with it. They can be managed by whomever while I continue to teach, even though I may be the one who follows through with the consequence still. When a child has to exit your classroom following a directive cue that they did not correct their behavior, they are being managed elsewhere. I still own the consequence. She has brought it to a point now where I think there needs to be a consequence. She needs to be accountable to me. One of the biggest mistakes that we've made is that we send kids out to be seen by someone else, and we expect them to consequence them. And now the child has no reason to behave for me in my classroom anymore. I have taught her two things. One, I can't handle it. And two, she doesn't have a reason to behave for me. She's not accountable to me. She's accountable for the dean or the principal or the counselor, whoever that is. That's not their jobs at this point. She comes back the next day. She comes back to me later. Her and I sit down at lunch, and I say, go get your lunch. We're having lunch together today. That's a consequence. I have recess duty. I say, Emma, you're going to walk with me during recess for the first 10 minutes. We really need to talk about what happened in class today. That's a consequence. Emma, we're doing groups today. You're not going to work in a group. You're going to work by yourself after this morning's incident. That's a consequence. So now she's being accountable to me. That's important. Unless it was a tier 3 behavior where a fight broke out, someone got bit, hurt, whatever, then I expect the admin to kick in right away, and they're the ones that deliver that consequence. Just make sure when you do the directive cue that you have the ability to follow through with what you put in it. If you decide a kid is going to see a counselor, that counselor is absent that day, make sure you got plan B, because they'll bring you there. You don't want to be thinking about what the plan is in the middle of the behavior.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. I speak and consult on school behavior, and I love to help districts solve some of these problems. See you next time.